Coming up on Channel 8 News, we will take a look at how the Manhattan community celebrated Fake Patty's Day. Plus, how are gas and oil prices affecting the community? And later, we'll take a look at the groundbreaking impact of the Yuma Street Cultural Center and the history surrounding the Black community in Manhattan.
Looking at today's weather temperatures, we are seeing a high for 42 degrees. However, it's going to be pretty chilly outside. It is having temperatures that are feeling like 33 degrees outside with wind gusts up to 22 miles per hour. We'll have more for weather soon.
This is KKSU LD, broadcasting in high definition from Kansas State University, covering Manhattan, Riley County, and the Flint Hills. You're watching Channel 8 News.
Good morning and welcome to Channel 8 News. I'm Bella Zarati. Coming up today, we'll see how the K-State community comes together over Fakes Fest, a tradition years in the making. And later, we'll hear updates on the revival of the historic Wareham Hall in downtown Manhattan. Thousands of students and community members took over Aggieville on Saturday, March 7th for one of the biggest celebrations of the year. Channel 8's Connor Wallstead has more.
Fake Patty's Day returned to Manhattan this weekend, drawing thousands of students and community members to the streets to celebrate this year's annual tradition. But beyond the festivities, organizers and community members say that it's more than just a party. It's about building a tradition that will continue for years to come.
The day kicked off with one of Fake's biggest traditions, the Ginger Race, with what seemed like thousands of people lining Raton Street to watch the event.
Well, there's just something about pretty much all of campus coming around and supporting people with just like a certain lineage, certain color of hair just running. So it really proves kind of the community that we have here at K-State and how everybody will support everybody, even if it's something really simple like a ginger race.
Some people even commuting into Manhattan in order to see the spectacle.
Oh yeah, I'm looking forward to the ginger run and then just seeing everybody in green. You know, it's a different culture shock here. I'm from Hayes, so, you know, it's a good time coming here to seeing everybody in green and then just seeing the run, you know.
And a good environment continued its way towards Aggieville as the bar lines grew down the blocks and would stay that way for the entire night, which included the first nightclub in Manhattan, Cause, opening its doors for the first time. And as the night wrapped up, I visited what could be a new Manhattan Fake Patty's Day tradition at City Park's Weefald Pavilion called Fakes Fest, where organizers put together a concert with many Manhattan bands.
I think there's a lot of opportunity with this event from a city aspect and also from just a community aspect. I think that if there's any day to party, it's today, and we can make it also a community event where we're supporting local music at the same time.
And as midterms approach for many students, Fake Patty's Day and all of its traditions was a way for students and community members to come together, adding another chapter to a tradition that grows every year. In Manhattan, Connor Wallstead, Channel 8 News.
Year after year, Manhattan streets fill up with students celebrating the fake holiday, bringing college students from all over the Midwest together. As the United States continues their war with Iran, gas prices have seen a steep increase around the country. Though prices in Kansas remain some of the lowest in the nation, the average price of gas has risen to $2.92 a gallon. Comparatively, gas prices on average sat around $2.70 just last week, marking a 26-cent increase. As the war continues in the Middle East and oil prices by the barrel continue to rise, we could see gas prices continue to climb past that $3 threshold around Kansas. Channel 8 will keep track of this story as it progresses. The groundbreaking of the Yuma Street Cultural Center was Tuesday, March 10th. The Cultural Center will serve as a hub for Black members of the community, including the Black entrepreneurs of the Flint Hills, with rentable venue space for events as well as a historic exhibit. Along with that, there will be a commercial kitchen that can be rented by members as well as a rotating restaurant incubator in the basement.
These efforts were really inspired by just the notion of preserving the Black history that resides here in Manhattan. The Cultural Center will be the final piece of the Kansas African American History Trail. And so just preserving that history and creating opportunity for future generations so that the rich history and legacy isn't forgotten here.
You may have spotted the construction on Points Avenue in the past few months. That's because of renovations to Wareham Hall, which will make it a new event hub for Manhattan. Emma Baldwin has more.
A renovation on a historic building like Wareham Hall includes careful coordination between each faction of the team.
There's been a lot of collaboration between obviously us, the design team, the ownership team, just making sure that what the ultimate end goal is accomplished. There is a lot of parameters that we have to do since it's historic, have to be able to make sure that we're following certain guidelines while still being able to make a really cool end project.
Having bought the building next to it, the team is looking to transform the space by putting in a basement, a second venue, and improving the main theater. With the demolition phase mostly over, the current focus of the construction is to create a basement and put in the foundations.
We're kind of currently finishing up a little bit of our demolition, starting to really get into the roots of the foundation. The portion before buried a lot on the side walls. Our current stuff has a lot more underground foundations, a lot more steel. So that's kind of the portion we're at right now. In the next couple weeks, we'll have a lot of concrete that finishes up. Entering into the steel phase, that kind of gets us going for finishing up the structure. So
the need for a medium-sized venue in Manhattan prompted the creation of Wareham Hall Incorporated and the Renovation Fund, both nonprofit organizations supporting the cause. More spaces for entertainment like Wareham Hall can help expand the art sphere in town.
We have a lot of great spaces that are really big, like McCain, and a lot of great spaces that are really small, like Annie Mae's. We wanted to be kind of that middle size for students, for townies, everybody alike.
The hope for when the project is finished is that this space will help bring the community together.
What the community has to look forward to the most is just a place to come together and celebrate more of what we have in common than what we have that separates us.
Wareham Hall will return to its old purpose, a place of entertainment for the whole community. In Manhattan, Emma Baldwin, Channel 8 News.
The project is currently scheduled to complete in the winter of 2027. Coming up on Channel 8 News, we will have Teresa Parks joining us in the studio to highlight the importance of Women's History Month. And later, we will have insight into the recent red flag warning signaling conditions around Manhattan. Stay with us.
You ready?
If you can keep up.
Want me to do this? Yeah, let's do it. I got a job interview today. Here we go. Congratulations.
Thank you. Dad, come on. Starting.
Fighting, ever fighting. Though it comes at the end of our fight song, it marks a new beginning. Fighting, ever fighting, will lead us into the future. In this era of change, our foundation stays unshaken. Fighting, ever fighting, for our community, our state, for the purple and the white. Creating a spirit that never falters. This is K-State. Fighting, ever fighting.
Drives it out towards center with the wind. It is gone! Always smiling. Shizuo Inoue.
I've been looking forward to this day for a long time.
Never give up on the game!
K-State wins! K-State wins! Here we go, here we go. What are you really willing to sacrifice to get there?
As a fan, you're going to get access to things that you typically wouldn't get.
Go crazy, everybody!
Everybody's really, really excited to do something special.
March is Women's History Month, inspiring conversations among students and faculty at K-State. Channel 8's Baylin Williams is live in the studio with Teresa Parks, here to discuss the importance of this month for equality on all levels.
Good morning. Good morning. Today I'm here with Teresa Parks, liaison for College of Health and Human Sciences. How are you doing on this fine morning?
I'm very well. Thanks so much for having me.
No problem. Why is Women's History Month important to recognize today?
I think that significant for people to acknowledge the impact that women have across all civilizations. It's multifaceted, the advantages that we bring to everywhere that we take up space, and so it's way past hard.
Yes. And then who is someone you look up towards that shines light upon Women's History Month today?
Oh goodness, we'll be here all day. I cannot think of very many women that I can't find inspiration in, whether it's in business, whether it's in government, whether it's in education. Everywhere that I see women, I see so much beauty, innovation, creativity. Everyone from Maxine Waters to Nikki Giovanni. Anytime I see a woman, I'm looking for the good things because that's usually what they bring to the space.
Of course. And then why is it important for younger generations to learn about women's contributions to history?
You know, I think that representation matters. And if people don't see themselves represented anywhere, it's hard for them to dream and have that moment of clarity that I can do this. And so we need to see women in education. We need to see women in business. We need to see women in boardrooms. We need to see women everywhere because our impact is everywhere. There are a lot of women who look to find their validation outside of themselves. And I need women to look at themselves and just see the beauty that they are.
Yes, of course. Teresa, thanks for joining us today for such an important discussion. That's all the time we have over here today. Bella, back to you.
Coming up on Channel 8 News, we will take a trip to our weather center for an update on Tuesday night's fire warning for Manhattan. We'll find out what this weekend holds for weather. Stay tuned for more.
I've been looking forward to this day for a long time.
Never give up on the game!
K-State wins! K-State wins! Here we go, here we go. What are you really willing to sacrifice to get there?
As a fan, you're going to get access to things that you typically wouldn't get.
Go crazy, everybody!
Everybody's really, really excited to do something special.
Drives it out towards center with the wind. It is gone! Always smiling. Shinjiro Inoue.
So within industrial engineering, you can actually start your master's degree a year early and start taking those classes your senior year. And then after you go through those upper level courses, you only really have a year left and you would come out with your bachelor's and master's degree, which is something I have been considering just because, you know, it's one extra year and I do love K-State. So it's like, you know, win-win. But that's a perk with being an industrial engineer. You're able to get your master's degree in just one extra year.
Championship on the line.
Good! It's good!
Looking to this weekend, it'll be a pretty nice one here in the Little Apple. But if you're planning on heading out of town for spring break, you may want to keep an eye on the forecast. For a closer look at what we can expect, let's send things over to Rebecca in our weather center. Rebecca?
The National Weather Service issued a red flag warning today until 8 p.m. in the Manhattan area. Low humidity and gusty winds means that any fire that starts will spread quickly. Officials are requesting that residents avoid outdoor burning and to be cautious about anything that may cause sparks. Looking at the national temperatures today, over in New York, we have 50 degrees. As we start heading down south, we are going to see 77-degree temperatures. We're having a little bit of a heat front come in here. And then as we're looking at Texas, Utah, and California, we're seeing some 50-degree weather. And then don't forget about Idaho, folks. It's going to be 46 degrees today. So if you're living in Idaho, make sure you're getting a jacket. And then as we're circling back to Manhattan, Kansas, it is going to be 44 degrees and sunny. Again, folks, don't be fooled by the sun. It is going to be cold out. Taking a closer look across Kansas, we're seeing a bunch of 50 and 40-degree weather today. Now let's look at our 24-hour agenda. Today we are going to have lots of windy temperatures. This morning it's going to be 48 degrees, but throughout the day it's going to get a little bit sunnier and a little bit warmer. It's going to get up to 66 degrees. And then later this evening it's going to get down to 43 degrees, and it's going to again be cloudy and windy. So if you're doing anything outdoors, just make sure you're prepping for that. And then looking at our 5-day weather forecast, we are seeing some sunny weather on Thursday and Friday. Saturday, we're still going to have a little bit of sun and a little bit of cloudy temperatures. Sunday, however, it's going to be rainy and cold. It's going to have a low of 18 degrees. So if you're doing anything Sunday, you might want to reschedule it. It's not going to be too hot outside. And then Monday, we're looking at, again, cloudy and sunny temperatures. And now, that is all we have for weather today. Bella, back to you.
Thanks, Rebecca. Coming up on Channel 8 News, we'll pivot to our sports center and hear how the women's basketball team did at the Big 12 tournament. And later, let's take a look at the Manhattan High School's boys basketball team's journey to state playoffs. Stay with us.
I've been looking forward to this day for a long time.
Never give up on the game!
K-State wins! K-State wins!
Here we go, here we go.
What are you really willing to sacrifice to get there?
As a fan, you're going to get access to things that you typically wouldn't get.
Go crazy, everybody!
Everybody's really, really excited to do something special.
Matliak out to left, back to back, good night! He drives it out towards center with the wind. It is gone! Always smiling, Shizuo Inoue.
So within industrial engineering, you can actually start your master's degree a year early and start taking those classes your senior year. And then after you go through those upper level courses, you only really have a year left and you would come out with your bachelor's and master's degree, which is something I have been considering just because, you know, it's one extra year and I do love K-State. So it's like, you know, win-win. But that's a perk with being an industrial engineer. You're able to get your master's degree in just one extra year.
Championship on the line. Good! It's good!
The K-State men's basketball season has officially come to an end, while the women's team awaits tournament season. Things are also heating up for K-State baseball and track and field. Braden Misaki joins us with more in our Sports Center.
Thanks, Bella. The Kansas State women's basketball team made history last week as they entered the Big 12 tournament as a 12 seed. Derek Colley has more.
The odds weren't in the Wildcats' favor when they arrived in Kansas City to play in the Big 12 tournament. As a 12 seed, the Wildcats would need to get by some stiff competition to advance each round. That didn't seem to be a problem early on as the Cats steamrolled through Cincinnati in the first round while setting a Big 12 tournament record in threes made in a single game with 17, and freshman Jordan Spicer tied a school record with 6.
Rolling up the court, Spicer, trailer three.
But I owe it to my teammates. All my shots came from one more passes. And yeah, without them, I wouldn't have been able to get it done. And just the energy that we all gave each other, I feel like that really helped go into the way I played today. So yeah.
The run didn't stop there for the Cats as they would take down the number 17 ranked Lady Raiders, ending the game on a 21-0 run.
Yeah, well, proud of our group. You don't have many comebacks like that where you shut them out the last 7 minutes of the game. We had to do a lot of things well. And
the shoe would fit for another game as the Cinderella Cats kept dancing after taking down Oklahoma State in the quarterfinals. This would become the first time in tournament history that a 12 seed would advance to the semifinals. The miraculous run would end there to the number 10 ranked Horned Frogs of TCU.
And this group has grown so much in that area from just competing better basketball-wise, becoming better teammates, becoming better leaders.
Despite falling short, the ladies battled further than any 12 seed in tournament history and even set some records along the way.
A Big 12 tournament record, 17 three-pointers.
In Manhattan, Derek Colley, Channel 8 News.
With that, the women's basketball regular season has come to a close. K-State Track and Field is traveling to Fayetteville, Arkansas for the Indoor Track and Field Championship. The Wildcats have a total of 16 athletes that qualified for nationals, which included 9 men and 7 women qualifiers. At the Big 12 Championship last week, the men's team came in second place, finishing just 1 point behind the leaders Texas Tech, while the women's team finished in fourth at the event. Both teams should be competitive at the national championship as multiple men's and women's athletes rank at top in the nation. The championship meet begins tomorrow and will finish up on Saturday. K-State baseball beat South Dakota State last night and Wichita State on Tuesday to extend their winning streak to 7 games. Leading the way on the winning streak is Dee Kennedy, who has 4 home runs over those span of games, providing instant offense for the Cats. The Wildcats' 2 weekday wins comes after a 3-game sweep of Southern Illinois University Edwardsville over the weekend. The Batcats will be back in action tomorrow night as they open up Big 12 play with a weekend series in Houston against the Cougars. Kansas State men's basketball saw its season come to an end this past Tuesday after a double-digit loss to the BYU Cougars. Adrian Holguin has more.
Optimism grew as the Big 12 Conference gathered at the T-Mobile Center in Kansas City for the annual Big 12 Conference Tournament. Kansas State was set to face BYU in the first round, and the first half was promising until top NBA prospect A.J. DeBonsta took over in the second half and led the BYU Cougars to the second round, defeating Kansas State by a score of 105-91. This sent the Kansas State Wildcats back home to Manhattan with nothing but uncertainty, regret, and solace.
After a season full of turmoil, Kansas State men's basketball season comes to an end in Kansas City, Missouri, inside of the T-Mobile Center after a loss to the BYU Cougars. Let's hear what head coach Matthew Driscoll has to say.
Really proud of the fact that we didn't quit. We've never quit during this whole tumultuous situation. We were probably the most resilient team in the Big 12, bar none. We've been through everything you could possibly think of: injury, illness, and attrition. And attrition obviously being with Coach.
Up and down season, I would say, and like Coach Driscoll said, we just didn't quit. I mean, we faced a lot of adversity. I mean, y'all seen it, but at the end of the day, we all stayed together and we just played, had fun, and just was with each other every day.
As the men's basketball season comes to a close, questions still remain. This summer will see the program find its new head coach to lead them to where they hope are bigger and better things. From Kansas City, I'm Adrian Holguin, Channel 8 News.
Manhattan boys basketball clinched their ticket to state over the weekend and played their first round of state last night, where they lost to Shawnee Mission South. The loss in the first round of state ended the Indians' run, but all in all, it was a successful season given the accomplishments of the team. Last season, the Indians won just 6 games, but turned things around to 17 wins and a state appearance this year. Manhattan advanced to state in a dramatic field sub-state, where a game-winning shot advanced them to the sub-state championship, which the Indians followed up with a 9-point win to march on. Head coach Benji George said he was proud of how his team competed in multiple games this season and mentioned how leadership of his team was built from the failures of last year.
I think it grew through last year's struggles. I think this team is an example that failure and success hold hands. And so I think going through what we went through last year made the guys realize the importance of leadership and communication and some of the intangibles and those things that you don't measure.
I think we're beyond grateful to be going into the postseason like this. After last year, after only winning 6 games, our motto this year is just kind of give our all and try to win as many games as possible.
That's all the time we have for sports. Bella, back to you.
Thanks, Braden. After the break, we'll take a look at our final weather forecast. Plus, vintage shops in the Manhattan area are great for those hoping to find a trendy new look over spring break. Stay with us.
Fighting, ever fighting. Though it comes at the end of our fight song, it marks a new beginning. Fighting, ever fighting, will lead us into the future. In this era of change, our foundation stays unshaken. Fighting, ever fighting, for our community, our state, for the purple and the white. Creating a spirit that never falters. This is K-State. Fighting, ever fighting.
You look at toughness and the ability and the mental and intestinal fortitude to play this game of football the way that it needs to be played is different. Some people like to visit physicality, we live that. We're going to be the new old school, and we are going to move our program forward and take the steps necessary to chase excellence in everything we do. And the time is now. Every single one of us in here has something to give to help take this program where we need it to go.
So the first third of the runway.
Deviations left of course approved. Bobcat 1-2, proceed when able.
Championship on the line. Good! It's good!
Kelsey Curry, a vintage reseller in Manhattan, is giving old items a new life. Amelia Likens has more on the story.
Kelsey Curry has been vintage reselling for 22 years. She currently puts her talents to use at Vintage Roundup, a local antique and vintage store in Manhattan.
I really love just rescuing items from the landfill and saving them. Vintage has history. I love that I can take something that's been loved and used before and find it a new home and get it appreciated once again.
Curry enjoys selling her vintage finds and giving them a new life at her store. She even sets the store up like a vintage house.
My store is in a little house built in 1948. It's got the original kitchen. It's a cozy atmosphere. We set it up like a house.
This little yellow house has held vintage finds for 10 years, and many customers say this place feels like home.
It's like a good homey vibe, and I really like it in there.
Curry says it's good to shop secondhand, not only for the environment, but also for special pieces that are high quality.
Solid wood furniture, can't beat that. All the new stuff is particle board, or it's made to be trashed. Like in a couple of years, it'll fall apart on you.
Curry's customers agree that shopping secondhand isn't just about saving money. It gives items a new life.
It's important to shop secondhand because so many people's things go discarded, and when you find them secondhand, it's like you're giving them new life.
For Curry and her customers, secondhand means special finds and less waste. In Manhattan, Amelia Likens, Channel 8 News.
Vintage shopping creates less waste and fun finds. Thanks, Amelia. With midterms coming to a close, remember spring break is right at your fingertips, Wildcats. I'm Bella Zarati, and from all of us at Channel 8 News, have a great Thursday and a safe spring break.
This is Channel 8 News.